بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today, inshallah, we're going to continue from Surat Al-Qalam from ayah 16 till ayah 25, inshallah. Well, actually, ayah 16 is the completion of what we mentioned last time, where the ayat were talking about the character of the disbelievers. And it was many bad things mentioned about them. We're going to revise it now, inshallah, till we reach this ayah. First of all, anyone knows or remember the main idea of Surat Al-Qalam is about what? Who knows? The main idea of Surat Al-Qalam. Yes, ya Ahmed. Sorry?
The importance of knowledge.
The importance of?
Knowledge.
Yes, excellent, excellent, mashallah. So the importance of knowledge. We mentioned that the pen is representing what we are writing, and what we are writing is a type of knowledge, and what we are studying or education or whatever we use is a type of knowledge. So the main idea of Surat Al-Qalam is about the knowledge, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is defending his prophet, that the Quran is a message of Allah, and it is not like what the disbelievers is saying about it, that it is denying it and saying that the prophet is a madman. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in ayah 10, as we mentioned, he mentioned to his prophet that don't obey those who is frequently made oath, and he is worthless, and he is going about with people, among people with gossip and scroner, and he's preventer of the good, and the transgressor sinful, and after all that he is greedy, cruel, and he is zanim, which is he is not, he's different, and he is not like the other people. When we mention that zanim is an illegitimate, something who is illegitimate, not belonging to the people, and it came from an Arabic word usually used when there is a herd of sheep, and this herd of sheep, one of the sheep have a cutted ears. So they say about her that it is zanim. So zanim, that it's not belonging to the herd. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in ayah 14 mentioned why this disbeliever have such bad character, because he thought that his wealth and his children made him like that. He's not need of anyone, or need to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he became has these bad characters. And if he the ayat of the Quran being recited to him, he said about it, it is the stories of the former people, or it is imagination, it is superstitious, it is not true. He's trying to deny by every time. So Allah in ayah 16 now is saying that what will be the punishment of such disbeliever, that Allah will tanasimuhu, will brand him on his nose, al-khurtum, representing his nose. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala branding him, mark him on the nose, or on his nose, and this is the mark of the people of the hellfire, meaning we will blacken his face on the day of judgment, and the face has been referred here to as note or his nose. So and also the nose, you know that the nose in the face is the sign of honor. So when it's being punished or will be blackened by fire, this is a sign of humiliation, that Allah is humiliating those who disbelieved in Him. So when we come here to the سنسمه على الخرطوم, here we will brand him on his nose. And when we say brand him on his nose, so it means that to be humiliated by blacking or blackening his face in hellfire. Okay. Then we start from ayah 17. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell us a very interesting story about the people of the garden, or ashab al-jannah, the people of the garden. So Allah is saying here, indeed, indeed, balawnahum. What's balawnahum means? Anyone knows balawnahum? Ha, balawnahum here in ayah 17. Inna balawnahum. Yes, ya Ruqayyah.
We have tried them.
Yes, we have tried them, yes. Or we have tested them. So indeed, we have tested them as كما بلونا أصحاب الجنة, as we tested the companion of the garden. So here is the beginning of the story. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying about those disbelievers in Mecca that He tested them by bringing this message to them and to see if they were going to obey the Prophet and follow his guidance or not, as He tested before the companions of the garden. What happened in the companion of the garden? Now the beginning of the story will begin in this ayah. Allah is saying, is aqsamu. Is aqsamu means when they swore. Aqsamu la yasrimunnaha. Anyone knows yasrimunnaha? Very strange word. We take it today. Yasrimunnaha. What does it mean? Yasrimunnaha. Yes, Medina.
Like to pluck a fruit?
Excellent. When they will cut off its fruit. So you can see here that the garden seems to be a very large garden with a lot of fruits, and the people of this garden, what happened? They swore that they will cut off its fruits musbihin in the morning. So they swore that they will cut off its fruits musbihin in the early morning. Now, why in the early morning? This comes in the next ayah. وَلَا يَسْتَثْنُونَ. Here, what does it mean? Ayah 18. وَلَا يَسْتَثْنُونَ. Yes, Ruqayyah.
Without making exceptions.
Without making exception. Type. Without making exception, if we are going to write it here. Without making exceptions. Now, my questions, exception to whom? Yes, Ruqayyah.
Even if they were believers. but they went against God.
Where is here the disobedience? Now he is telling you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is people having garden and they swore that they're going to cut off the fruits next morning without exceptions. What exception of what? Well, actually, we have to know the story. The story from the beginning is about three brothers that their father was very righteous man and pious man, and he has this garden full fruits, and he used to when at the time of the harvest, during harvesting this garden, he take a portion or an amount of the fruits and give it to the poor and needy. And the poor and needy knows that he is a good man. That's why every harvest, every year, they wait for their portion of the fruits that coming from this garden. So that man passed away, and he has the three sons, and this is the story of the sons. The sons, after their fathers passed away, they wanted to keep all the fruits for them. They don't want any exceptions for the poor and needy. Okay? So here the exception is for the poor and needy. So what happened? You see, swore here, or they aqsamu, give you the meaning that it was something they decided firmly decide to do that. And they went to sleep. They went to sleep. So now the ayah 19 is telling you what's happening in this garden while those brothers were sleeping. In ayah 19, فَطَافَ عَلَيْهَا, came upon it, طائف. Ta'if is like someone who came, like a visitor. And here it's literally means a visitor, but here it stands for there was an bad thing happen to this garden. Afflicted by heavily destruction. Destruction happened to this garden. And this is what we can know. من ربك, from your Lord, وهم نائمون. So, فطاف عليها, there, here, we can say fa. So what? So there came upon it. فطاف, came upon it. What? طائف, an affliction from your Lord, an affliction from your Lord, which means we mentioned the word ta'if is like a visitor. A visitor come to it, but here a visitor is a bad visitor, that something that destructed this garden. An affliction from your Lord. What happened? Came upon it while they were asleep. They were asleep. While, sorry, were at that time, يعني while they were sleeping. Or asleep. So here we can see a two scene of the story. Two scene. The first scene now in the garden during night. Something very bad happened to the garden and destructed all the garden. And the second scene is those brothers who are sleeping and they don't know what's happening in their garden. So ayah 20 is telling you what happened to the garden in the morning. So in the morning looks like kassarim. What does it mean? Kassarim? Kassarim means that dark night, like the dark night. The crop, when it is harvested and withered, it was dry and dark. So in other words, فأصبحت, so by morning, or by the morning. So by the morning, what happened? It became dry and dark. This is as-sarim. Dry, and all the fruits, all the vegetables, all the beautiful things that is present, it changed, all the garden changed to the dark. Okay? This what happened to the garden. Now the ayah 21 is returning to the brothers. The brothers woke up in the morning and they started, they did, of course, they are not knowing now what happened to their garden. Still not know. So when they woke up, they start to call each other at the morning, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. They start to wake up each other. فَتَنَادَوْا مُصْبِحِينَ. So they called out to one another at the morning brooks, means when it was early in the morning time, they called each other so that they could go together to pick the harvest or cut its fruit. يبقى فتنادوا مصبحين here means they called one another. They called one another at morning. مصبحين. Okay, what they called each other, or what they mentioned to each other, what they said to each other, ayah 22. أن اغدوا على حرثكم. Go early to your crop. حرثكم is your crop. إن كنتم صارمين. Here صارمين means what? Huh? Anyone knows صارمين? اغدوا means to go early. اغدوا على حرثكم. اغدوا means to go early to your crop. Go early. Here اغدوا. So اغدوا is go early. Go early to your حرثكم is your crop. Now, my question is صارمين. Yes, يا رقية.
If you will cut your fruits.
Yes, صارمين يعني if you are, or if you want really to cut your fruits. So again, they start to advise each other that they still on what they made oath yesterday or the night before, that they will go to cut the fruits of their gardens without giving to the poor. So now they are going to their garden. Ayah 23 is describing that they are going. فانطلقوا. فانطلقوا means they departed quickly. انطلقوا means quickly departed. الانطلاق literally in Arabic means that to walk quickly. So they departed quickly. Okay? And what else? وهم يتخافتون. What is وهم يتخافتون? وهم means while. They are. يتخافتون. What is يتخافتون? Anyone knows? يتخافتون here, ayah 23. Medina.
Lowering their voices.
Yes, lowering their voices or whispering. You can say whispering. Whispering is to speak in a very low voice, like that. Type. If I'm going to ask you, Ya Ilyas, why they were whispering?
Because they don't want to be overheard.
By whom?
By the poor, maybe?
Excellent, mashallah. So they were whispering here to give you this the feeling that they don't want to be heard by the needy or the poor, because the poor is now waiting, will come to the garden to take their part in this fruit. So they are coming very early in the morning, they are departing and walking quickly before the poor comes, or the poor come to take their fruit. And that's why they are whispering. They are whispering what they said in their whispering. They said, أَلَّا يَدْخُلَنَّهَا الْيَوْمَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِسْكِينٌ. So while they were walking quickly, starting to whisper of what? By saying, so if you can say here, saying what? There will surely لا يدخلنها. This is يعني a word in Arabic that means the confirmation. There will be surely, there will surely not enter today. ألا يدخلنها. اليوم means today. عليكم مسكين. عليكم, no one will enter it today. عليكم means upon you. مسكين, what's up? مسكين? رقية?
The poor.
Yes, miskin is the needy. There is difference between the poor and the needy, even in the Arabic language. The needy is the miskin, and the poor is the faqir. So poor in Arabic, faqir, or fuqara, the plural. And needy is miskin or masakin, the plural. So here miskin means a needy. And it comes here by the single. Miskin is one, even one needy. So as if they are saying not entry today, even one. Yani, so you can see how much they were stingy. Even one needy will not enter today, will not take anything today, even if it is just one. Okay? And وَغَدَوْا عَلَى حَرْدٍ. Again, غَدَوْا, they went early in morning. Again, it comes here that they went early in the morning. عَلى حَرْدٍ, that they went in the morning with strength. حَرْدٍ. قادرين is strength and power. قادرين. They thought that they have the power to prevent the fruits to be taken from any poor or needy. Even one needy will not take from these fruits. So the ayah is said, and وَغَدَوْا عَلَى حَرْدٍ, and they went early in the morning. We mentioned غَدَوْا, يعني early. They went early على حرد. يعني على حرد means that determination or in firm decision. They decided. You see, in firm decision. Okay. And قادرين يعني with strength and power. With strength and power. يعني they are going to do what they already had agreed, and what have they made an oath about it last night when they have oath, all of them. But what happened? What happened when they went to the garden? And so what happened to the garden? This is inshallah what we're going to know next time. And before we leave, we have to take the lessons from those ayat that we took today. So if we're going to speak about the lessons that we going to take from those ayat, who can tell me lessons from those ayat. We'll start with the ayah إِنَّا بَلَوْنَاهُمْ كَمَا بَلَوْنَا أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ إِذْ أَقْسَمُوا لَيَصْرِمُنَّهَا مُصْبِحِينَ. Ayah 17. Ayah 17. What we can learn from Ayah 17? Ya Ruqayya?
Allah is testing His believers to see whether they will give the poor and help them by like giving them big garden full of full of fruits.
Yes, this is good, but remember every time I'm telling you there is difference between the explanation of the ayah and the lesson of the ayah. When I tell you the explanation of the ayah, this is what Ruqayya is saying now. But when I tell you the lessons that we are learning from this ayah, you have to take something to tell me that we can apply to ourselves. This is the lesson to take. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned in ayah 17 that we tested them like we tested the people of the garden. So what the lesson we can take from this ayah? Anyone can tell me? We can say that life is test. This is what we learn from this ayah. Life is test. And we will pass it if we obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His messenger. So what we can learn that life is test, different tests that you're going to be tested from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when you pass the test, you pass the test when you will obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His orders and avoid His prohibitions. Okay? This is ayah 17. Ayah 18 is mentioned that they didn't make exception. They will cut off the flowers of the garden without exception. What we can learn from this? They will not make exception for the poor and needy. So what does it mean, or what we can learn? Ahmed, Bunyamin, can you tell me? No exception means what?
Sorry, what was the question?
Ayah 18. They will not make exception. Those the people of the garden will take off the flower, cut off the fruits without exception. What the lesson we can learn from here?
Maybe we have to be generous butter.
Sorry?
We have to be like a generous butter.
Yes. Avoid, excellent. Avoid being greedy or stingy. We have to be generous to be generous to the poor and needy. Okay? Be generous. Type. We have the next ayah. آية number 19. فطاف عليها طائف من ربك وهم نائمون فأصبحت كالصريم. Ayah 19 and 20, Allah is saying an affliction came to this garden while they were sleeping, and it became as black and dry. What we can learn from these two ayahs, 20, 19 and 20. Ruqayya.
If you get given a blessing from Allah and you don't obey Him, then Allah will consequence you and take from you that blessing. So we should be grateful to Allah and obey Him with, for example, giving to the poor.
Yes, excellent. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish those who are not giving the poor or the needy by taking the whole you can see here that if they just can give the poor just a very small percent of the fruits, they will keep the rest of the garden for themselves. But what happened that because of their they are stingy and they are selfish. They wanted to keep the whole garden for them, so their punishment were that they lost the whole garden. So here we can learn that Allah punishes the stingy people by making them lose their wealth in by losing of their wealth, by losing their wealth. Stingy people make them to lose their wealth or part of it, or large part of it, we can say, because they were stingy to others. So Allah will punish them by make them lose their wealth or large part of it. So as we can say that the thing that they are not going to spend on the people to take for obeying Allah, it will be take more than of this amount as a punishment from them, as punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. آية 21 22 فتنادوا مصبحين أن اغدوا على حرثكم إن كنتم صارمين. Here in ayah 21 and 22, what we can learn? They called one another, wake up, and then go early to take your crop if you really want to cut the fruits. And they went very quickly while they were whispering that no, even one needy will come to you to take anything today. What we can learn from those ayat, 4 ayahs, because they are related to each other. What we can learn? Now the ayah is describing for you the behavior of those brothers, how they were whispering. They don't want any poor to listen to them or to hear them. How they are departing very quickly. All this, what we can learn from that. Here, the determination on the disobedience of Allah always leading to his punishment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish those who are firmly decided and they have determination on his disobedience. So determination on disobedience of Allah always will lead to the punishment of Allah, and the punishment of Allah will be severe and will be not on this dunya, it will be also in the hereafter, especially if the person will not repent back and will not ask the forgiveness of Allah. We'll stop here inshallah and we'll continue next time the rest of the ayat. أقول قولي هذا